Ready, on three. 1, 2, 3.
This is our celebration for the Alabama Center for the Arts Phase 2 groundbreaking. And sometimes we think it takes a long time to get from one phase to the next, but actually this has been a pretty fast movement because of all the people who have encouraged us and supported us. Many of you stood on this same location on December the 10th, 2010, as we celebrated the groundbreaking of the Phase 1 facility, which we're in today. Except at that time, this location was known as the old Robinson Furniture Store building and was a little more than a warehouse at that time. But if you take a look around today, we can all be proud of the progress that we've made. Did you ever imagine that the warehouse would be replaced with such a beautiful building? This facility is now home to the visual arts classes for both Calhoun Community College and Athens State University. And I just have to thank Dr. Glenn over and over again for the wonderful partnership we've had in the development of the Alabama Center for the Arts. It is a model partnership, and I think you would hear each of us say that if it had not been for the partnership, we could not have made as much progress as we've made up to this time. We first held classes in this building fall 2012. And if you talk to any of our students, you will hear over and over again how wonderful this building is and what up-to-date resources and equipment that we have here. Recently, a student who had just graduated from Auburn University took some painting classes here at the Alabama Center for the Arts, and she talked about how all of her fellow students from Auburn would be in awe of all that the Alabama Center for the Arts has to offer in the way of materials, equipment, and resources, including the human resources, our faculty. Today, as we break ground for Phase 2, which will house Calhoun and Athens State's music and drama departments, I would like to take a few minutes to recognize some of those who have worked with us to make our vision a reality. And it's always difficult to recognize a few because each and every one of you has been a supporter. Senator Arthur Orr, who has worked diligently to secure much needed funding for this project. Alabama State Board of Education members, Dr. Charles Elliott, who served as has just been ended his term as Vice President of the Alabama State Board of Education, but who has been such an outstanding member of our state board and has been so supportive of our partnership. Mrs. Mary Scott Hunter, who also has been very supportive of this partnership as well, both for the educational benefits as well as the community and economic development benefits. Our Chancellor, Dr. Mark Heinrich, is such a tremendous leader. We are so appreciative of his leadership of our system at this time. He is the man for the times, for sure. And his focus is always based on student needs. Invariably, his decisions facilitate student success and our system, and we thank you so much. Oh, Terry's here, good. Representative Terri Collins and Representative Ed Heinrich, who also have been great supporters of not only this project, but a number of projects for our community college system, and we're very grateful. Decatur Mayor Don Kyle. The city has been supportive of this project since it began and committed substantial resources to the project. Morgan County Commission Chairman Ray Long, and also we need to recognize the members of the commission and the council who are with us today. Would you raise your hands? I know we have several. Thank you for your commitment of resources to this facility. I'd also like to recognize Frank Barnes and Annette Funderburg, staff members of the Department of Post-Secondary Education, right here on the front. Thank you for your great support, and Frank has spent a number of hours in planning and design meetings with us for this facility. So we appreciate that. Barrett Shelton. Where are you, Mr. Shelton? Oh, in the back. Well, I can assure you, he does not always act like he's in the back. He is always in the front as far as vision is concerned. And he had the original vision for this project. So we are forever grateful to you for your vision. And support. He's a great supporter, has been a member of our college foundation for many years. I'd like to recognize Live Design Architects who developed the plans for this building, who will supervise the construction. Craig Krozik, Jeff Quinn, over to the side, and Walt Mason. Thank you very much. I would also like to recognize a couple of my colleagues who are with us today. Bob Exley, who's president of Snead State Community College, and Dr. Humphrey Lee, who's president of Northwest. We do have a great group of presidents, and we do support each other, and it's evident since you're with us today. Thank all of you again for being here for this celebration. And if you've not had an opportunity to see this building, I hope you will do that during our reception, which will follow the program this morning and the groundbreaking just outside. At this time, I'd like to ask our great partner, Dr. Bob Glenn, president of Athens State University, to please come forward for remarks.
Thank you. Good morning. This is a great day in North Alabama. We're so pleased to have you here with us. As many of you know, I was raised up in the parsonage, and I was taught that a fellow's not worth much if he doesn't have the good sense to say thank you to people. So I want to take my portion of time. Mary Scott did show up. I was planning to use her time. Now that she's here, I'm going to have to cut my remarks. But I want to just use my time to say thank you, because we would not be here if we were not working with others. All the great things that you do in life, you do with other people, not in spite of others. You do it with them, in concert. And this program is a good example of that. First and foremost, I want to thank Marilyn and her team at Calhoun Community College, Brian, Alicia, Janet, all the folks there that have been so patient. This was not an easy process. There was no formula for us to follow. There was no recipe for us to look at for this partnership. We're doing something no one else is doing. And it will not only change North Alabama, but in my view, it will change higher education, because in an era of diminishing state resources, institutions cannot continue to act as silos and try to be all things to all people. We've got to learn to collaborate. We've got to understand that we serve a common master, and that is the citizens of the state of Alabama. And I want to commend Marilyn for the approach that she has taken in this entire process, that we are going to figure out ways to work together. It hasn't always been easy. There have been times when we've had to tussle with things, but she has been consistently positive and optimistic, and that has meant so much to us, and I appreciate that. Thank you for that. I want to thank our friends in the legislature, Representative Henry, Representative Collins, Senator Orr. We could not be here today without their support. They have done so many things, but I want to particularly thank Senator Orr because he has been a real driver. I have never seen the man when he hasn't asked me a question about what we were doing next. And I think it is reflective of his desire to do the very best that he can, along with Representative Henry and Representative Collins, to serve this region of the state. They are dedicated to making sure that we can move forward and that we can progress, and they've done an exceptional job, and we would not be here without them. Thank you for that. I want to thank the city and the county. They were committed to this project from the very beginning. We would not be here if they had not given us the land, if they had not contributed financially to the construction of this first project. And Senator Orr and the legislative delegation are helping us with the funding of Phase 2. We couldn't have been here if the city and the county weren't dedicated to this process. I'd like to think that our being here demonstrates the value of higher education as an economic driver. Since we've come in here, 5 new restaurants are open in downtown. I understand from Rick Paler that there have been about 50 new businesses come to the downtown area. We think that having higher education in the metropolitan area is a powerful economic driver because we bring new blood into the community every day. So I look forward to working with the city and the county on future projects. And I appreciate very much. Thank you for what you've done to help us. Along those same lines, I'd like to thank the members of the Chamber and the Downtown Decatur Redevelopment Authority, who again, I don't think we would be here today had it not been for the visioning project that was led by the Chamber back around 2006. And I've said this many times, if it had not been for the vision of the citizens of the community, I don't think we'd be here. So I appreciate the Chamber. I appreciate very much Rick Paler. It's hard for me to say that in public, but I do appreciate it. Is Rick here today? Oh, yeah, there you are. But the Chamber and the Downtown Redevelopment Authority have been a part of the planning. They've been a part of the encouragement, and I appreciate very much what they've done. Thank you for that. And I'd like to thank the folks with Live Design. We are not easy to work with. You may not have noticed that in any of your interactions with us, but sometimes we're a hard group to get along with. And they've been patient, they've been thorough, they've been consistent. We have a good building plan. They are going to take us through that process, and at the end of the day, you're going to see a great result, and you're going to see a change in Decatur and a change in North Alabama, and we appreciate their part of that. Thank you for that. And finally, I'd just like to thank my faculty at Athens State University. The heart of an educational enterprise is the interaction between interested students and committed faculty. And we have a great arts faculty. We have a ways to go. As you know, we have a great program in art. We have a minor in drama now. Hugh Long is here. He's got a play Thursday night, a Greek tragedy starting in McCandless. Tickets are still available if I'm not mistaken. Can't pick those up at the door. But we don't have a music program. But we believe that there's a viable opportunity for us to go forward and create a program. We're excited about that opportunity. We're excited about bringing the arts back to Athens State and bringing them back to North Alabama. So thank you to my faculty, and finally, thank you to all of you who are here. We would not be here today if there was not vibrant public interest in this project. So thank all of you for being here today. Thank you.
And next, Dr. Elliott, and then we'll just follow the order of the program.
You know, I'm in absolute awe of artists. I mean, I really am. I can't do paint by number. No, really, I can't do paint by number. But looking at what an artist can do with a brush or pastels or any number of media, it's amazing. I was a terrible clarinet player in high school, but I still love to hear a great orchestra. And terror fills my heart even to do a little school play. But to go to the theater, it's amazing what human beings can do. Individuals need to tell their stories. As a matter of fact, you cannot not tell your story. And I think it's important for individuals to have an opportunity to tell stories of their lives and tell stories of times past. I think it's going to be important for us that as a culture, we not let the media in New York or Hollywood define the way we look at the world. Life as seen through Southern eyes is a very precious thing. And I think it's important that we nourish it, and we cherish it. And I think that's why today is so important. Just like everyone has said, I really do want to thank our presidents, Dr. Beck and Dr. Glenn. Arthur has done a great job on this. And for each of you who've had a hand in this project, I am so very, very grateful. Thank you very much.
Well, it's an honor to be here today. I'm Mary Scott Hunter, and Mr. Shelton, one of the problems with getting elected is you don't get to sneak in the back. So thank you very much, Dr. Glenn. My husband right now is deployed to Afghanistan. We're Air Force people, and I've got a nanny in the hospital and parents in Europe, and it's one of those moments when you come out of the shower and you ask, how did the cereal get on the ceiling, kids? Sorry. We're Air Force people, and my husband and I have spent a lot of time on airplanes. And airplanes fly straight and level, and they're pretty easy to fly, all things considered. Helicopters are different. Helicopters are a million pieces trying to fly apart. That's how they fly. A million pieces trying to fly apart. And when you put together a project like that, like this, that's what this is. It's a million pieces that are trying to fly apart. And they could easily fly apart, but for the pilot and the co-pilot and the navigator and the engineers and the people on the ground that did the maintenance and all the people that participate in making that airplane, that helicopter fly. And what we have here is a vision that started with a few people and was nourished and was led, and now we have something that's taken flight. And it's really special, and it's special for a lot of reasons, because we get to tell our stories, because it represents the culmination of a lot of vision and a lot of teamwork, and it's just a really proud day for me to have played just a very small part, but more than the part I played, I'm proud of the people that I've held hands with to make this happen. That's exciting to me, and I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I just appreciate the kind of partnership that it took to get where we are. It is not an easy thing to do. The tendency is to fall apart, but it didn't. It's flown, and it's here, and it's exciting. Thank you.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Let me begin the same way as most have begun and offer my congratulations to Drs. Beck and Glenn for their partnership. Anytime you partner, as you've already heard, you go further. You can run further. And the partnership that you guys have put together with the city and the county is spectacular. And so I certainly would like to express my sincerest gratitude for your vision. I also would like to thank Dr. Elliott and Mary Scott Hunter for their leadership on this project. And both of them are going to downplay their role, but they're working behind the scenes all the time, and they are encouraging, and those encouragers are so very, very important. So thanks to both of you for that. And our legislators, certainly Terri Collins and Ed Henry, again, they're also worker bees behind the scene. Without their support, this would not have occurred. And we've already heard about the vision of Senator Orr, and you are correct. He is constantly asking about the next project, and that's another great reason why things get done. And so thank you for your support, your vision and support of this very noble project. I probably have a little different twist on what's happening here, and you may think poorly of me when I'm done, but let me give you that twist. Dr. Trollstrup, who none of you knew, was a very young faculty member when I began my undergraduate education 100 years ago. And he invested, for reasons I'm still not sure, but invested untold hours in me, and I will always be grateful for that. But one of the things, as I was thinking about what I wanted to say this morning, I recalled with great fondness is many early mornings sitting in Dr. Trollstrup's office on one of his 5-gallon buckets of formaldehyde and brain containers. He was a physiological psychologist, and just talking about psychology, talking about brain and behavior. And one of many things that I learned from him was that there is a strong correlation. I don't think we ever need to forget this. There is a strong correlation or relationship between the arts and neurological development. It's incredibly important that we expose our population to the arts, or we lose as a society. Suffice all this to say that this building provides the framework and opportunity for many to benefit from the arts. And there are going to be so many benefits we'll never see. But I promise you they'll be profound as our citizenry moves forward. Eric Hoffer is quoted, and this is one of my favorite quotes, as saying, "The hardest arithmetic to master is that which enables us to count our blessings." Well, I am, as you've already heard from the previous speakers, I am deeply grateful to all of you who have played a role in making this day possible. But I'm also grateful to my God for more blessings than I can possibly count. And I think most of you out there feel the same way. Ben Franklin, another one of my favorites, is quoted as saying, "An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest." Well, this is an investment in knowledge, and it will pay the best interest. And I am truly honored to be a small part of a project that will pay dividends for years to come. So thank you very much.
I'm Terri Collins, and it is an honor to be with all of you today. It's such an exciting time to look around this room and see a full room that is promoting higher education in Morgan County. When I think about Dr. Beck and Dr. Glenn, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you that they don't look at how something can't work out and can't happen. They think outside the box about, no, how can we make that work out and happen? And I'm so glad to be a part of that. In 2010, I started looking, as I started serving this community a little bit deeper, at some of the areas. And Morgan County, for our size, was one of the largest counties that had absolutely no higher ed within our county. And that we've got Athens State University and Calhoun Community College working together, which is unusual, but working together to partner and to provide higher education in Morgan County means the world to me. So I say thank you with my whole heart. I appreciate what we're doing as we work in Decatur to try to make this area reach out in cultural arts. This is the perfect foundation and the perfect piece for that. So I'm honored to be here. I'm so excited that we're expanding to phase 2. I can't wait to see what we do next. Thank you.
I'll be brief. I spent most of my life sitting where you are, and I can't recall ever thinking, I wish that politician had spoken longer, so I understand. I do want to say this. This was a huge team project, and from the delegation perspective, we had to come together to allocate funds to help make this possible. And Dr. Beck and Dr. Glenn, they lobbied hard and heavy to see this vision come through. And I must say, we talk about behind the scenes and what happened here and there, but the one thing that really kind of made my decision to go along with allocating these funds was the constant drumbeat from Terri Collins about how awesome this will be for our entire county, our entire community. And over again, she was so excited about this project and what it was going to bring to our communities that I had no choice but to go along with it. So thank you all, and thank you especially Representative Collins.
Well, I'm the one you've been waiting on because I'm the last one. So, you know, last and most probably least, I want to start off with a quote. Vision is the art of seeing the invisible. And since I did not have the privilege with the other legislators back in 2010 of participating in the groundbreaking ceremony for this particular building, we were all in Montgomery during a special session back then and were not able to attend, which was not to my liking or choice, but duty called, and certainly we had to be down there and not here. So you're going to be exposed to what I would have said then, and then of course talk about the current facility. I know he won't appreciate my mentioning this, but I have to mention somebody who's not been named today, and that's Clint Shelton, for his drive and determination as well in making Phase 1 and of course Phase 2 a reality. When we used to drive down 2nd Avenue and envision the possibilities with this particular property, he was a driving force in setting that vision for downtown Decatur. I also have to think about Julian Price, who's long since moved on, but who, working with that council, acquired the property upon which this facility is being, Phase 1 is, and then Phase 2, the old Elks Lodge, if you recall it, where the city purchased it, and then a county commission, and the commissioners then had stepped up financially with making Phase 1 happen. But all that set the stage, of course, for where we are today. The delegation, when it first approached, it had been talking to Dr. Beck and Dr. Glenn approached him, was concerned about, oh, well, this will be just for Decatur. But let me tell you, we have, certainly in my opinion, I think the facts speak for themselves, a unique delegation here in Morgan County in that our delegation came together to do things of lasting importance. And by that I mean financing Phase 2, being a partner with that financing, doing the soccer field lights in Hartselle, funding part of pre-K in the county parks, also doing the locker rooms at Jack Allen Park, really trying to enhance the quality of life across Decatur and Morgan County as a whole, rather than being like other delegations which do much, much smaller type of projects in their counties. The last thing I'd want to leave, and Representative Collins mentioned this, in Montgomery you have a scene where you have 140 legislators and many of them are jockeying, and you always are looking to see what the other counties or the other areas might be getting. And she mentioned it earlier, you know, Morgan County, until we did Phase 1, was the largest by population county that had no higher education presence in it. And I'm glad to put another stake in the ground today to prove that, you know, the economic vitality that higher education does bring to a community is very strong and growing here in Morgan County. And we're certainly appreciative to all of our partners and all those that made this day a reality. Thank you so much.
When you have this team of people behind you, including our commissioners and council, how could you fail? Thanks again. And thanks to each of you for being here today. And I'd like to recognize Joel McWhorter and Luke Hamilton from the MatCom group. They designed our beautiful new logo for the Alabama Center for the Arts. So let's please give them a big hand. I would also like to thank our Calhoun Warhogs, who are our hosts here today, and they're probably outside the room working. But they are always available to help us with projects such as this. And I'd also like to ask all of our faculty and staff members from Calhoun and from Athens State University to raise your hands wherever you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're great.